Netherlands. There I studied social work, and later I worked in a bakery where we mentored 20 guys with a disability. About 5 years ago I moved to Lithuania. When I came here I saw that there's not really so much going on for guys with a disability. There's no place where they can work, there's no place where they can go to. With my experience in the Netherlands, I thought maybe it's good to start some kind of business myself that is hiring guys with a disability. And 3 years ago we opened a restaurant. Now we have 15 guys with a disability working in our restaurant.
Tim is so good and good director. Special is a good chef. Is so happy here. That's all.
With our social restaurant, a lot of people that come here, they think our objective, our goal is to employ guys with a disability. That is of course one reason why we started, but the biggest aim that we have is that society in general would accept guys with a disability much more, also in working places. So actually our main aim is not the guys with a disability we hire, but the customer that actually comes in, and to change their mindset on our employees. So when I came to Lithuania, I noticed that in the streets you don't see guys with a disability. You don't see them in the buses, you don't see them in the streets, you don't see them in the cinemas. And for me, coming from the Netherlands, where we hire a lot of these guys and see them in parks, see them working in the supermarkets, that was really a big difference. So I started to look like, where do these guys go? What is here for guys with a disability? And I noticed that there is these daycare centers, and in these daycare centers, people with a disability they go to in the morning, like 8-9 o'clock, and they leave at 4. They do activities, they make cups, they do art. They sing together, they have some computer lessons, and these centers are really good, you know. A lot of guys with disability, they go there, they spend their day, they learn a few more skills. But what is missing, in my opinion, from those centers is that these centers are closed off. There's a gate in front with a lock. So society, you know, other people from society, they cannot get in. So the whole mixing of society with these guys with disability is taken out. And next to that you have a lot of these guys are being brought by taxi, special taxi, which is on one side good because also guys in wheelchairs, for example, they can go to these daycare centers, but on the other side, the only place where we as other society could see these guys with disability would be if they would go by bus, if they would walk on the streets to the daycare center. And by having these taxis also picking them up from their house and bringing them to the centers, there's completely no coherence between guys with a disability and the rest of society. Starting a business like this, I wanted to completely mix and mingle it, and actually to show that if you come here as a customer, you are being helped by someone with a disability instead of the other way around. Automatically, if we see someone with a disability, we might feel that we have to help them, we have to be super kind to them. That's not true. You just have to be normal to them, like to anyone else. And here is a place where guys with a disability actually serve you. And that change is for some people difficult, but I think it's needed, and it's very nice to see that people learn that very quickly. We are a social, we say we are a social business. Officially though, we are just a small business, but we do all the activities that another social business would do. And we're not an NGO, not a MSI, so every euro that we spend on salaries and ingredients, on interior, on whatever, we have to earn ourselves. started Pirmas blynas. Before that, we did not. We are a normal business, right? We're a normal business, so applying for grants was already difficult for us, from the municipality, from government, from European Union. It was hard. Next to that, we did not really want it. Around that time, three and a half years ago, there was a lot of negative articles in Lithuanian newspapers about this kind of grants, that a lot of money from European Union was sent to Lithuania. It was spent, but when 2 years after things were checked, basically nothing changed, nothing happened with the money, just some people took salaries and basically money disappeared. When we started, wanted every single thing about our company to be positive. And even if we thought it might be, or it might become a negative thing, we will not do it. So we decided not to go with any grants, not to ask for any funds. We said that we have to do it ourselves. It's a normal business, so let's try to do it in a normal business way. So we went to banks, but actually banks all refused us any loan, because first of all, I'm a foreigner here, which is a red flag. Then it's a restaurant, food business, which is always very tricky. We have seen in Corona times how tricky it is. A lot of us went bankrupt. Then it was a social idea, and banks did not really understand that. They said, like, who will go? Like, are you sure people want to come? And for them, it's a big risk. We have to be honest, it would be a big risk for them. So they refused us any loans, so we financed everything ourselves. Yeah, with my family, we put in the money that was needed. That's how we financed it. Investors we do not have. We do have a lot of supporters. Honestly, I see every customer here as a supporter. And you have to pay for your food, so with that you support our business. We have companies helping us. We used to be situated in another place, and it was very cold there. There was a company that built an extra wall and an extra ceiling with isolation, for example. They gave that for free. That was a lot of work and a lot of costs for them. So we do have that. Companies that want to help us. For example, during Christmas, we are making Dutch waffles. We are selling thousands and thousands of them. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And a lot of companies would like to buy them for Christmas gifts for their employees, for their contacts, for their business partners. So it's not direct investment in the normal way, but we see it as, they do it because we are a social business and they like our business, they would like to help, and they get something in return, right? Because it stays a business transaction. We give them waffles, they give us funds. So we always try to keep things business-wise. Yeah, so that's the help that we get. In the beginning, when we started, we did not apply for any grants. We wanted first to show that we meant well. We are a good social company. We really mean well. And now, about a year and a couple of months ago, just when Corona actually started, we did get a grant from ESFA. Yeah, so we're working together with them. We now have more interns in our place. We try to teach them working skills, and with a job coach agency next to us, we try to find them a job. In return for that, we get subsidies for salaries, because, for example, we have now a lot more employees, so we also need to have an extra social worker to keep everybody working well, to make development plans, because we want to teach them skills that the guys would learn them, but we also need to make plans for that, right? We need to speak with them, we need to make a lot of time for it. So for that we get them subsidies. I had to start a business. I never started a business before. That was, for one, difficult. The second thing difficult was that it's in Lithuania. I didn't speak Lithuanian at the time. And the third thing was that it was a social company, social idea that nobody really understood before we opened. So that was very difficult. Our biggest surprise was that even before we opened, we got so much media attention that Because when we opened, we had no idea if people would be interested. With the head chef we had back then, we said, let's see where it goes. We will try it. If it doesn't work, after a year, we will just stop the whole thing. But we were so overwhelmed with the amount of interviews, the amount of attention, the amount of customers in the beginning as well. That really surprised us. I think in Lithuania at least, we are a social innovation. We are the first business that is hiring guys with a disability openly. I cannot say that we're the first one that's hiring them, because a lot of companies do hire guys with a disability. It's just that there are companies, for example, they hire guys with a disability, but they do not want to show it anywhere because they did some research, and when they told people they would hire guys with a disability, people actually evaluated their product less instead of higher. They wanted to pay less money for the product. So companies are hiding it, and we wanted to break that completely. We say we are proud of our employees, we're proud of how they work, who they are, with all their pluses and minuses, and that is very new for Lithuania. That is the social innovation we implement.